Hello, MindFit Empowerment. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to talk about environments. I listened to a training by Trent Shelton, and if you don't follow Trent Shelton, I encourage you to do so. He's so powerful. He talked about how he went to buy some flowers for his backyard and didn't ask for any help and planted them. Within a few days, the flowers had died. And what do we do when flowers die? Do we blame the flower? No, we learn to change the environment that they are in. He went back and learned about where to place the flowers, in other words, what environment they should be in. Once he did that, the flowers began to thrive. Such in our own lives, the environments in which we have such an influence on whether we bloom or whether we die, or whether we become less of ourselves. To me, this is so timely because I'm in the middle of having the crossroads of having to decide if I change a friend group or not. The friend group I'm a part of right now is honestly toxic, and I need to cut them off and change the environment so that I can bloom and step into the person that I'm meant to be. For people with bipolar, we learn that our environment is all the more important because our environment can trigger an episode. If it's toxic. My mom has been actually encouraging me to change my friendship environment for over a year now, and I've been hesitant because I've known these people for so long. It's difficult to change an environment that you have grown accustomed to. It becomes normal. You don't realize how toxic it really is until you step back and you look at the facts. So today, I want to offer you some facts that we can all look at and see if our environment, particularly our friendships, are actually a toxic one that we need to change. Sometimes the environment we are in can quietly affect our peace, our confidence, or even our mental stability. In this video, I want to talk to you about the warning signs that you may be in a toxic environment or a friend group. Signs like feeling drained, walking on eggshells, shrinking who you are, constantly being surrounded by drama, or feeling guilty for setting boundaries. Any of those sound normal to you? This is especially important when you are living with bipolar because the people and the spaces around you either support your stability or make it harder to protect it. So they either support your stability or make it harder to protect it. A toxic environment does not always look obvious at first. Sometimes it feels familiar. Sometimes it feels normal. But if you constantly leave feeling anxious, insecure, exhausted, or emotionally ashamed and exhausted, it may be time to actually pay attention. Healing sometimes means choosing distance. It means protecting your peace. Trent Shelton talks about protecting your peace all the time. Honoring your boundaries and surrounding yourself with people who help you become healthier. Not people who keep pulling you back into the chaos. You deserve relationships that you feel safe, supportive, and stabilizing. Your environment matters. Your peace matters. And your healing is worth protecting. So number one, if you feel drained after being around them, that's me and mine right now. A healthy environment still can challenge you, but it should not constantly leave you feeling emotionally exhausted. If you always leave feeling anxious, heavy, insecure, or feel like you need to recover, that is something to notice. Number two, you feel like you have to shrink yourself. Another one. You may find yourself hiding your opinions, your goals, your faith, your healing, your journey, or parts of your personality because you are afraid of being judged, mocked, dismissed, or misunderstood. Another one of my flags right there. 3, drama is always present. Every friend group has hard moments, don't get me wrong, but toxic groups often live in constant drama. There's always gossip, conflict, jealousy, competition, betrayal, or someone being talked about behind their back. Number 4, They make you feel guilty for having boundaries. Oh my gosh, so one that I can relate to. A toxic person may be offended when you say no, need space, protect your peace, or prioritize your health. Healthy people may not always understand your boundaries right away, but they will respect them. You are afraid to be honest. Another one of mine. If you constantly worry about how they will react, if they will blow up, shut you out, twist your words, or punish you emotionally, that is a sign the environment may not be safe for you. They only support you when it benefits them. Another one. They may celebrate you when your success makes them look good, but become distant, jealous, critical, or dismissive when you start growing in ways they cannot control. You feel worse about yourself around them. Oh my goodness, I definitely feel this way. Pay attention to how you feel in their presence. Do you feel confident, peaceful, encouraged, grounded? Or do you feel insecure, ashamed, small, anxious, or not enough? 8. Gossip is the main form of connection. If the group bonds by tearing other people down, there is a good chance they will do the same to you when you are not in the room. So think about that. If they are doing it while you're there, they're probably going to do it behind your back. Number 9, your healing makes them uncomfortable. When you start becoming healthier, more stable, more peaceful, or more intentional, toxic people may try to pull you back into old patterns. They may make comments like, "You've changed. You're too serious now. You think you're better than us." I feel that one. You feel pressured to ignore your values. Values are so important in our lives. And if you feel pressured to ignore your values, that's a warning sign. A toxic environment may push you to act in ways that do not align with who you are becoming. This could include unhealthy habits, reckless decisions, navigating thinking, gossiping, partying, overspending, or staying in chaos. Number 11. They minimize your mental health. Oh my gosh, with bipolar, this is so important, and this is so one that I felt. If they make jokes about your struggles, dismiss triggers, call you dramatic, or expect you to function like nothing is wrong, they are not creating a safe space for your well-being. And mental health, that's so important. Bipolar, don't ignore that one. 12, you are always the giver. You are the one checking in, showing up, listening, helping, forgiving, and making effort. But when you need support, they disappear or make you feel like a burden. Number 13, you feel anxious when their names pop up on your phone. Have you ever had that? A name pops up on your phone and you're like, been there. Your body often recognizes toxicity before your mind is ready to admit it. If a text or call invitation immediately creates stress, dread, or pressure, pay attention. Number 14, they disrespect your growth. They may bring up your past mistakes, old habits, or old identity to keep you from stepping into the healthier version of yourself. Safe people allow you to grow. Toxic people keep reminding you of who you used to be. This is something that's really hitting home for me. They keep reminding me of who I used to be, or let me step into who I'm meant to be. 15, you feel like peace is only possible when you are away from them. This is one of the biggest signs. If your nervous system calms down when you create distance, that distance may be showing you the truth. Something I need to listen to. A simple way to check in with yourself. Ask yourself, do I feel more like myself around these people or less like myself? I think that's a great question to ask. Do they bring me closer to peace, purpose, stability, and healing, or closer to chaos, confusion, anxiety, and self-doubt? For someone managing bipolar, environments matter, especially as it matters deeply. The wrong people and places can increase stress, disrupt sleep, trigger emotional spirals, and make stability harder to protect. You do not have to hate people to create distance from them. Sometimes healing means loving people from a distance, choosing peace over access, and realizing that not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. So, my dear friends, think about your environments that you are in right now. Think about your environment of your work, of your friendships, of your home. Think of the different environments that you're in. And think about the things that we listed off. And I want you to think whether or not they deserve a front row seat in your life. Are they toxic for you? Do you feel drained? Do you feel like your mental health isn't in a good place with it? Do you feel anxious? And if any of those questions, you can rewind this video and listen to the 15 different ways that we evaluate if we're in a toxic place. If any of those resonate, then it's time to make a change. Don't learn from my experience, is what I'm trying to say. Don't take a year to make a change and waste a year of your life on the, in between of going, do I change my friend group or do I not? Go ahead and make that change. You never know what's waiting on the other side. 2 years ago, I left corporate world to go back to teaching, and it's been great. I'm at a school I love. I'm teaching and I love it again. And if I never did that, if I never took that risk to go from corporate world and to decrease in salary and go back to teaching, I wouldn't be at the school I love. I wouldn't be living where I love. I wouldn't be, able to be running on a trail with the dogs that I love and my 2 dogs that I love. I wouldn't be able to be here with you today because it wouldn't provide me the time to do videos and show up for you all and start building a life of my dreams, which is really to bring healing for those with bipolar and help them find a meaningful and fulfilling life beyond just our bipolar, because we're more than just our bipolar. Our bipolar is not who we are. We're human beings. And we live with bipolar. Bipolar is just a part of who we are. We have more to us than that. We're first human beings with character traits within us. We might be kind, compassionate, a leader, all these different things. And then bipolar is just a sub-thing. It's one thing that we have, and that we have to fight every single day to stay strong, to stabilize, to live into our full potential, to make it so that we are here and that we are showing up fully. But don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discredit what bipolar is, because bipolar is hard and it takes a lot to show up every day. And I'm proud of you for being here. I'm proud of you for living with bipolar. But it's not who you are. You're a human being, and you deserve to be respected and deserve to be treated like one. And if your friend group isn't treating you like a person, they're treating you like a disease at first, then there's something wrong with that. And that's where I'm at. I'm being treated like my disease first, like my mental health conditions first, because I'm more than one, rather than as a human being first. And I need to find a friend group that treats me like a human being first. And then those other things are just part of who I am, but they're not who I am at the core. There's other things that make me up who I am at the core. And my friend, so with you. So I hope you leave this video feeling empowered. I hope you leave this video feeling, questioning, am I blooming or am I dying? And it's not your fault if you're blooming or dying. You need to change your environment. sometimes it's not us, it's our environment that's causing us to bloom or die. And I love that by Trent Shelton. I thought that was such a good analogy. I had to jump on and share that with you. And so, be empowered, stay strong, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.